So I do have in the studio this afternoon Kwame Kondichian is the head of communications with the National Road Safety Commission. Do I say good afternoon?
Afternoon, my dear.
I'm asking if I should say good afternoon.
Yes, yes and no. I think that the incident at Commander has given all of us a source to be worried. Indeed, it has been pretty well during the Yuletide, based on reports that we had received from the regions. Basically from January to November, compared to the situation last year, it was becoming evidently clear that we were managing some level of reductions until this unfortunate incident occurred yesterday. So somehow it has marred the afternoon and our festive period. It is regrettable, and we hope that we wind up the year without any further of such incidents.
Now, from what you just told me means that we're doing well and then we just came down. Is that
yes,
okay?
yes.
So
from January, our monitoring showed that from January to November, we had recorded a 3% reduction in crashes compared to the same period last year.
Which was?
Yes, about 9% reduction in number of deaths and 9.5% reduction in number of injuries. Looking at the same situation last year, given that within the same period, the number of vehicles have increased. Of course, number of road users and their likes. So in as much as the reductions were marginal, it gave a source of hope, and if you like, satisfaction that we appear to be doing one thing right, one thing or the other right, until unfortunately this incident did occur.
But does it make it look as if the National Road Safety Commission is comfortable with the situation now?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, we have set ourselves an ambitious target to reduce the level of deaths by 50% by the year 2020. We think that every incident like what occurred at Commander Junction thereabout is avoidable, provided that the players within the transport subsector will do one thing or the other right. I do not want to believe that the tire burst occurred spontaneously. Ordinarily, that's a possibility that it had forewarned the driver or the vehicle owner. Oftentimes when these matters happen, we as a commission try to go back, especially the number of persons that have lost their lives. We'll try to reconstruct the accident, ask a few questions, try to understand how and why it happened. This would have nothing to do with what the police would do in trying to investigate which offense is an issue and who to punish. Ours would want to look at, if you like, institutional failures. Where is this vehicle coming from? Is it a case that the operator is with a registered entity? What is the profile of that vehicle? Has it been maintained? The nature of the tires and the rest of them. So we will try to have a better understanding of the situation.
But yes, National Road Safety Commission has its role to play. MTT and all other stakeholders have their role to play. But going back, 15 lives have been lost. Investigations will always go on. Do you think that if there was enough collaboration from the various stakeholders, including your outfit, most of these deaths would have been averted?
Yes, I want to agree with you. I think we are not shy to say, we say it very often, that one of the biggest problems or challenges we have dealing with safety in this country is to do with institutional commitment.
So what's going wrong?
We have all the strategies. For instance, the Commission has put in place a 10-year strategy based on data, developed data-led action plans, assigning clearly defined responsibilities to specific agencies. And when there's a failure or a reduction in the level of commitment from these agencies, there's a likelihood that some of these incidents will occur. So yes, I would want to agree with you.
But this is not the first time the National Road Safety Commission would agree that there's a failure when it comes to collaboration. How can this problem be solved?
We need to, first of all, come to terms with the reality.
Haven't we done that already?
I do not think so. I think as a people...
how long is it going to take us?
No, I think as a people, we tend to bring these matters when the harm has already been caused. A lot is being done, but we need to show more commitment at the point of incident. For instance, it is too early to be able to determine exactly what happened in this incident until we have occasioned the investigation and got the findings. But generally, every crash of this nature would naturally involve three players: the road, environment, the transport operator, the driver, and in these times we also look at the role of the passenger.
Now before I even let you continue talking about the factors, road, environment, and the humans' life involved, you have touched on collaboration over and over again. Can Ghanaians conclude that these stakeholders are taking them for granted? Yes, Ghanaians also have a role to play, but you are the authorities in charge.
I would want to believe that a lot is being done, except to say that it is not enough. From our point of view, the Commission has been set up by law as a coordinating agency. Unfortunately, if you look at the same law, it comes with a certain margin of defect, if you like. Many a times when these incidents occur, based on data, you do an analysis of them, you do findings of the reasons they happen, you make recommendations, and as an agency, when these recommendations are not carried out to the letter, your hands are tied because there's too little that you could do as an institution. But having said that, we still think that the relevant stakeholder institutions, if they were to prioritize these matters the way we do in the course of their operations, many of the reasons that we get killed 1 year to the 15th year will very much be managed. So commitment is crucial. The Commission has been around. I've always said that, but for our existence and our little impact, maybe the situation would have been much worse.
So to make your impact bigger, what should be done for the Road Safety Commission?
We need to begin to look at the law that sets the Commission up as a coordinating agency. I think we have moved miles from the Commission as it was set up in 1999. The road safety problems have become very complex. Issues have emerged which were not in a contemplation when the Commission was set up then. We must begin to have an institution. It might not necessarily be the Commission, but a Commission that has a more assertive mandate that will be able to demand that operators do one thing or the other based on data. Other than that, as it stands now,
get there?
I can report to you that there is the Ministry of Transport is very much committed to this process and have commenced a process to review the Act that sets Commission up. We believe that
it looks like as if you like using the word committed, but we've heard about these things over and over again.
Yes,
it's no new thing.
Yes, commitment. When I say commitment, I refer to commitment in the terms of advocacy and resource allocation. You see, in this country, when these incidents happen, we do not appear to be concerned until one, it occurs, two, until someone very close to us is involved. But the reality is that on a daily basis, close to 4 to 6 people get killed. Many of them get knocked down as pedestrians, school children and adults. Just about 23% are passengers. We have the strategy which has been put in place as a result of data. We have quite a reasonable number of laws, if you like, but the agencies that will have to implement these laws and actions have one concern or the other. For instance, if you look at the number of persons who get killed yearly in this country, those who get killed, you just did a story on crime, but I can tell you that just about a quarter of the people who die through accidents die through, if you like, violent crimes, including armed robbery. But you agree with me that as a people, our whole approach to crimes of that nature do not measure up to our attitude when it comes to road safety. We must begin to have a change in our perception. If we prioritize safety, we begin to look at it as a humanity crisis. I believe that the efforts that we put into other forms of if you like, disease burden and crimes will be channeled for this purpose. And the MTTU, for instance, our MTTD will be very much resourced. We'll not have to rely on our benevolence
of individuals.
Yes.
Okay.
To check on speed and the rest of the problem. So when I say commitment, we have all that we need to deal with the concerns, but the attitude and the resource profile ought to be improved.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time. I have been speaking with Kwame Konde-Tuane, Head of Communications with the National Road Safety Commission, and he has reiterated and said here that we need to prioritize issues regarding our lives, specifically on our road.